Hey guys, it's Paradise, and we've been playing Call of Duty Warzone, and it is so much fun. I want to let you guys know all of the tips, the beginners stuff that really would have helped us when we first started playing the game. So we're going to jump right in with the tips. If you guys enjoy this video, drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and let me know in the comments what you think of Warzone at the moment. So my number one absolute do not skip tip for anyone starting out in Warzone is to make a custom loadout. Jump in the menus, edit that loadout, pick your favorite weapons, the ones that you know you perform well with, add on all of your attachments, pick the perks you like most, the gear that you like most, and you are not going to regret doing this now, because it's definitely going to help you later on. Now in regular Call of Duty you would spawn in with these loadouts. Of course this is a BR mode, it's a new game type, you're going to load in with nothing and want to loot your way to victory. But within the mode itself, there are airdrops that come down that allow you to loot them and pick one of your custom loadouts onto your character. You can actually buy this as well, which we'll talk about a little more later on with the mechanics of buying things. But right now, editing that loadout and looking out for those airdrops that let you pick your loadout is going to help you massively. The reason that this is super important and is really going to help you out is that it lets you, one, pick the exact weapons that you know you're good with and that you know you like to use, and two, it gives you perks. Perks are so big in this game, and no one has them unless they actually edit a loadout and then get that loadout within the game through the airdrops. The reason that perks are so important is because they literally buff your character above someone that doesn't have them. For example, something like Quick Fix will let you immediately start regenning health after you down someone, so when you're taking on a squad, you can down one of their players, recover very quickly, whereas a regular player wouldn't get that extra recovery. Another perk like Overkill lets you actually add 2 primary weapons into this loadout, so that when you actually put that onto yourself in the BR game mode, you immediately have your 2 best and favorite weapons, and you don't have to use a sidearm or whatever other random thing you've looted up till that point. And then there's perks like Tracker, which are nuts in the BR mode. They actually let you see your opponent's footprints, so you know which corner they're camping behind, where people have been. It's such an advantage over someone that didn't make this loadout and then use it within the game and is just looting around like everyone else. So definitely add in your favorite weapon, kit it out with attachments, pick your favorite perks and your equipment as well. You will definitely have an edge over those people that didn't have their favorite loadout already set up. So the next tip that's going to really help you out is actually parachute controls. Obviously you spawn in jumping out of the plane and then parachuting to the drop location that you choose. It is going to be really important to learn to use this well, because it's going to mean that you can get to a place before other people or land before other people and pick that gun up first. So the most important thing to know is that controls actually matter while you're parachuting. You want to be looking towards where you want to go and using WSAD or using your controller to point towards where you want to go as well. If you just want to go straight down, then look down and hold W, or look down and hold forwards on your controller, and that applies to pretty much every direction. But if you dropped a little bit far away from where it is you want to go, there's a little trick that you can do where after you've got that initial sort of boost from jumping out of the plane, you can open up your parachute and then cut it again and move in the direction that you want to go. And this will give you almost like a speed boost in that direction for a few seconds while you're free falling, and then you'll kind of taper off and you'll start going more down than you are to the side. And you can just repeat this of pulling your parachute, cutting it, and moving in that direction, and you'll be really surprised that you can actually gain a lot of ground in a direction by doing this, and it really does let you get really far away from the path that the plane flew in. So definitely try using these tips in your match to drop at the exact location you want to. And remember, if you drop before everyone else, you're looting first, and you might just get that weapon and be able to kill someone even while they're still parachuting down. It's kind of crazy to kill someone before they even land, but you can definitely do it. So with that in mind, let's talk about where is the best place to drop. Now at the moment, from everyone that I know that's been playing it and from all of my playtesting myself, loot seems pretty well spread around. There doesn't seem to be a condensed area of high tier loot or an area that just has trash tier. It seems like it's pretty evenly spread. So what I really recommend to you guys doing is drop to the area of the map that you know best from the regular Call of Duty Modern Warfare maps. As an example, if you've played the new Modern Warfare before and you are a fan of Ground War, then you might have played a lot of Tavorsk District. This is actually within the Warzone map as well. You can go to the downtown Tavorsk district area, and it will be a very familiar setup for you. You're going to know your way around the buildings, you're going to know what rooftops to look out for, and it's going to really give you an edge over an area that's completely new to you. And this applies to several different maps within the game as well. So obviously if you haven't played the new Modern Warfare before, then you won't know these areas, but if you have, or you've been watching videos or gameplay of it, then you might have a rough idea of some of the areas to go to and what are some popular choke points or areas that people like to camp, and it's going to really help you out when you first start off the game and you jump down and you're getting to grips with picking up your loot and trying to survive. So my next big tip is to actually really look at the loot. I know this sounds like a kind of stupid and obvious tip, but let me just explain for a second. When you run across loot, you will auto pick up some things, but not all things. And when you kill a player that had a lot of stuff, it can get jumbled and a little bit messy, especially when you're talking about squad wipes within the same room. If you run over ammo, if you run over cash, you are going to pick it up automatically. But some things like your lethal and your tactical grenade, as well as your field upgrade slot, as well as your kill streaks, as well as your weapons will not be picked up automatically. And when you have a game that does have stopping power rounds in it as a field upgrade, that will literally give you a flat damage boost on your entire magazine, so in a 1v1 scenario with the same weapon, you will win because you have stopping power rounds, it's really important to pay attention to everything that's dropped and everything that's lootable, and to not just run over it and assume that you've picked up everything you need. The same thing applies to your grenade and your tactical grenade slot. Just running over it, even when you don't already have that equipment, will not automatically equip it to you. You have to look at it and equip it. So you could be running around without a grenade, without a flashbang, because you simply missed it, and then you're going to run into a squad that all have grenades and all have flashbangs, and it's going to be bad for you. So definitely do pay attention to that loot on the floor, and make sure you know what equipment you have and what equipment you can still pick up. So next we're going to talk about settings, because there are a few settings that you don't want to miss that will give you an edge. This does apply to both keyboard and mouse and controller players as well. If you're a controller player, you can actually use the tactical loadout over the default loadout, and this will let you have much more control over your aim while you're doing the classic Call of Duty drop shot, as it applies those things onto your analog sticks rather than any buttons, so you can aim while drop shotting still. And there is a little setting for controller players as well that you want to change and enable contextual tap. This will allow you to simply tap the X button for most things rather than hold it down. It lets you be more free on your controller, lets you be more aware and easy to react to things because you're not having to hold down a button. And for PC players, you really want to increase your field of view. This is a straight up advantage if you can get used to it. It will let you see more on the screen, it will let you see more around you. So definitely increase that field of view slider as far as you can, or until it gets in the way of your enjoyment. The next thing to talk about is going to be armor, as this is really important for every engagement you have within Warzone. In traditional Call of Duty, you don't have these kind of armor mechanics, so this is something new, and it has actually made the time to kill longer if you have full armor. So you have 3 bars, and you can find these armor plates. When you activate them, it gives you a bar, or it refills a bar that's been damaged, obviously to a maximum of 3, and you can carry 5 armor plates with you at one time. You 100% want to be having full armor for every engagement. It makes a difference, it's a straight up advantage, it's like having a bigger health bar than the enemy, and it really does make a difference when you're shooting people. That being said, headshot damage is still big in this. You can one-tap people with a sniper rifle regardless of their armor, but for things like assault rifles or SMGs, it's going to make a massive difference. And that moves us on to the next thing to talk about, which is actually the buy boxes, where you can spend the cash that you've got from playing to actually buy things such as a full stack of 5 armor. I think this is the most underrated thing here that not a lot of people are doing, and everyone on your team should always have 5 stacks of armor so you can immediately heal up during or after a fight. There are other things, of course, within the buy box as well, super important, like buying your team members back or buying kill streaks, which are super important. I really recommend people use the precision airstrike. You can literally wipe whole squads. You can see in this footage, I just deleted a squad that was camping a rooftop without really having to try, just by dropping a precision airstrike on top of them. And that being said, you don't want to be camping in open areas like rooftops for too long, because these kill streaks are quite cheap and they are really going to destroy you if you get hit by them. There are other things in the box as well, such as self-reviving. This is really, really important and actually can win you games. A lot of people towards the end of the circle seem to be focusing on wiping the squad out rather than finishing you off when you go down, because it's a very small area. They know that your teammates are close by if they've shot you down. So as soon as you go down, you can just immediately start self-reviving. He's moved on to one of your teammates and you can just shoot him in the back or just get straight back in the fight and potentially win the round even after you've gone down. So definitely be on the lookout for these buy boxes, get those kill streaks, keep your armor stacked at 5, and be looking to use that self-revive as soon as you go down. So next we need to talk about the Gulag. When you die within Warzone, you actually have a one-time chance to come back by winning a 1v1 with a random loadout within the Gulag. It's literally just a tiny little arena where you fight the other player and whoever wins literally just starts to drop back in on the actual map. If you lose, then that's it, you're out of the game unless your teammates buy you back. But something that's really important about the Gulag that I don't really see many people doing is throwing rocks while you're spectating other people doing their 1v1s. And this even works if you have a squad wipe and your other squad members are currently fighting to come back. You can actually throw rocks at people inside, and you can also communicate with your teammates what's going on and what they can't see. For example, say that you just had a squad wipe and you and your friends are now all in the Gulag, and one of your friends has just started his 1v1 while you're spectating. You could literally just watch the enemy player, feed him the information of where that player's going. Oh, he's going to the left, he's going to the right, he's coming down the middle. You can actually throw rocks at them as well, which will flinch them. And believe me, it's so annoying when you get hit by one of those rocks. It can really tilt you and make you lose that 1v1. So make sure that you are communicating with your team, make sure you are throwing those rocks while you're in the Gulag to give your team, your squad, that edge to get back into the game. So my next tip for you guys is on how to get money and what these icons that you're seeing on the map are. So basically there's a thing in this game that is bounties and contracts. A bounty is literally a bounty on another player where it sort of gives you a direction of the player, and as time goes on it more refines the circle around them on the map. And you literally just have to go and hunt them down and you get a big cash payout. Obviously their squad will be defending them and they are alerted that they're being hunted when that happens. Then you also have scavenger contracts where you have to go out and open a series of boxes. When you get to the last box you get the payout and the bonuses and a nice bit of loot as well. Then you also have the recon contracts, which are where you are told a location of a flag. You go over there, it launches a flare into the sky, so it's a little bit dangerous. It does give you away and alert other players that you're there, and you have to hold that location for a set amount of time, and then you get some loot at the end as well as the cash payout. And these are really, really important to do if you want to build up a lot of cash, especially at the start of the round in the sort of early game where everyone's out there looting. You can do some contracts back to back and really rack up the cash to buy that self-revive, those kill streaks and those armor plates and everything else. The more that you do back to back, the bigger rewards you get as well, which is quite nice. So my final and last tip for you guys is for what particular types of weapons to be looking out for and using. Of course, it all comes down to personal preference, but for me, the weapons that I have been seeing really good results with is the DMR style weapons or the burst fire style weapons, and these work really, really well because ammo can sometimes be an issue. So if you're spraying with an automatic weapon, you can go through a mag very quickly, whereas if you're using a burst fire weapon like the FAMAS, you can really control those shots better, conserve your ammo and down people quicker. And on top of that, the LMGs are really shredding people. It goes against what I just said about ammo conservation, but with an LMG, that does not matter. You have a giant magazine, and if you are spraying people down with an LMG, they really do drop fast. So I would keep an eye out for DMR, burst fire, and LMG style weapons. Of course, you want to have a sniper as a secondary as well. This is a BR mode, it's a giant map, snipers are going to play a big role. But if you get within kill range with a DMR or a burst weapon or an LMG, I definitely see those outperforming other things. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope all of these tips helped you. Let me know in the comments down below if they did help you, and what you are currently using for your custom loadout as well. Subscribe for more content like this. Drop a like if you didn't already. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm jumping back in Warzone, and you can always come over and watch me at twitch.tv/Paradise Central as well. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.